Hi, my name is Christine Hoar, and I'm very happy to be with all of you today. I'm also very delighted and honored to be among such a learned and dedicated and esteemed group of presenters, all speaking about health and wellness and transformation. So thank you so much for the invitation to speak, and also thank you so much for those of you who are tuning in, for taking the time and taking the energy to listen today. I hope that this talk will enlighten you a little bit and also will inspire you a little bit, perhaps to take a closer look at Ayurveda and all of the benefits that it has for us. The traditional wisdom of Ayurveda has changed my life so much, and I trust and know that it can do the same for you. I invite you to open yourself to the possibilities of self-healing and transformation through these time-tested and sacred practices. I also invite you to explore how this ancient wisdom can inform our modern-day circumstances. And it can also inform our experiences and the possibility for radical healing. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of opening invocation. Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Om Namami Dhanvantarim Adidevo Sura Suraye Vandita Pada Padmam Loke Jararukpaya Mrityunasham Dataramisham Vividaushadinam. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. So I'd like to start today with just a little bit about how I came to Ayurveda. So I came to Ayurveda via yoga, and I came to yoga via some pain in my life. So I was working in a corporate job in 1995. I was 29 years old at the time, and I started experiencing some back pain, and it was back pain that was significant, and I couldn't put my finger on it. It was unusual for me because I was an athlete my whole life. So I'd been a competitive swimmer and a runner. And so to be in pain for extended periods of time when I was sitting or when I was lying down or standing, I basically couldn't be in any one position for more than about 15 minutes without discomfort. And I thought, God, that's just really unusual. And so I tried to explore some of the therapies of acupuncture and chiropractics, massage therapy, myofascial release, and nothing seemed to be touching it. So I went the allopathic route, and I got some x-rays, and the diagnosis was that I was fine. Except I knew that I wasn't fine. I knew that I was in pain. I knew that something was wrong. So one day one of my friends said, have you tried yoga? And I thought, well, no, but sure, why not? So I went to my first yoga class at that time at 29. I guess it's not exactly true. I had taken a little bit of yoga when I was in college, but not much, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I took my first yoga class, and I went back maybe 3 times that week, and after about 3 weeks, the pain had decreased significantly, and I thought, wow, there's really something here. then I saw an ad for an Ashtanga yoga class. I had no idea what that was, but I thought, sure, why not? You know, this seems interesting. So I took an Ashtanga class and I started diving in and started going deeper and started studying with some really terrific teachers. So my first teacher was Beryl Bender Birch and David Swenson and Nancy Gilgoff. And finally I met Pattabhi Jois. I became a student of Guruji of Pattabhi Jois and subsequently the Jois family and now Sharat Jois. So I've had, you know, a really lovely string of teachers, all of whom have provided me with incredible teachings. But as I was studying the yoga, this word Ayurveda kept coming up, and I thought, what is this Ayurveda? And so I started exploring the concept of Ayurveda, and at that time I was living up in Vermont and there was really no way to study Ayurveda. So I just got some books and I started reading, and it was very interesting to me. And I started thinking, God, well, this is, you know, this is something that I want to dive more deeply into. And unfortunately, at one point, the Kripalu College of Ayurveda opened, and I enrolled to be in the first class, and was fortunate enough to study with some terrific teachers. So I've become an Ayurvedic practitioner, an educator, and that is the perspective that I'm going to speak with today. So the information that I will provide today is from the perspective of somebody who lives the Ayurveda and practices the Ayurveda in my own life. So I'm a yogic practitioner, I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner, and I like to share what I've learned with those people around me. So as an intro to Ayurveda, so what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga. When you look at the pantheon of body, mind, and spirit, yoga really, if you look at the scriptures, primarily Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Patanjali is dealing with our spiritual transformation. So in body, mind, and spirit, yoga is really dealing with your spirit and your transformation. The body and the mind really fall more under the category of Ayurvedic healing. So they go together, and they really need to be practiced together. Practiced correctly, yoga is the result of, or the fruit of, a deep Ayurvedic lifestyle and practice. Ayurveda is the basis for your yoga practice. So the yoga will take care of your spirit, the Ayurveda, your body and your mind, but really they both take care of all three together. Ayurveda, much like yoga, has its basis in Samkhya philosophy. So Samkhya philosophy is dualistic in nature. It speaks of Purusha and Prakriti and the 24 evolutes, the way that energy becomes manifest into our world. It probably remains the best explanation of how matter evolved from spirit. Later systems of thought, you can think of maybe Vedanta, for example, expand the idea of spirit to encompass all of matter without duality. But that said, Ayurveda remains potent as a system of thought for healing. So the word Ayurveda, Ayus means life, and Veda means the study or the science. But it doesn't mean biology. So if it's just the study of life, you know, that would be how many carbon molecules are there, right? Is it alive or is it dead? Ayus means a vibrant, a full, a complete life. Guruji, Pattabhi Jois, used to talk about how, as a human, we've been given the gift of 100 years, and that's our life, and we're not to waste a minute of it. Ayurveda helps you figure out how to live those 100 years with extreme vibrance and joyfulness. So it encompasses more than just science. It encompasses spirituality and philosophy as well. From the Ayurvedic perspective, life is defined as the sum total of our existence. And 4 factors create life. The first factor that creates life is called your body, sharira. The second factor that creates life are your sense organs, the indriya. And those sense organs are divided, there are 10 of them, into 2 categories. So you've got the category of jnanendriyas, the 5 ways that we gain jnana or knowledge. So the 5 ways that we're able to take in information in the world. and the karmendriyas, the 5 ways that we're able to act in the world. So the first piece of life is the body, the second, the sense organs, the third aspect of life is the manas, or the mind, and the fourth is atma, or consciousness. So those 4 things are how Ayurveda defines life. Without any of them, we don't have life. Each of us is a unique expression of consciousness, of the Purusha. And our overall health is partially based on understanding and creating healthy relationships with all 4 of these factors at the same time. So we experience that it's possible or not possible to heal our body without addressing our mind and our consciousness. We experience that it's difficult to find peace of mind without a healthy and strong body. And if we're choosing to engage the yogic path, it's most likely that we're also making inquiry into that part of ourself that is unseen, into Atma. So as part of this inquiry, we start exploring the big question of who am I? So we contemplate things like, I have a body, but I'm not the body. I have a mind, but I'm not the mind. I have sense organs. I can use these sense organs, but I'm not these sense organs. The mind, the body, and the sense organs are tools that we have at our disposal to explore our worlds, our inner world and our outer world. So Ayurveda is about creating a full and vibrant and balanced life. It teaches us to learn and to explore our unique nature and the effect that different natures have on our unique nature. The different natures can take the form of people, of foods, of climates, of geography, of habits, of vocation. All of these things will have an effect on our unique nature. So in addition to experiencing ourselves as unique expressions of consciousness, we also need to recognize that we do not act in isolation. So we're a unique presence in the world, but we're not in isolation. We need to recognize and honor our place in the larger universe. We're part of the larger natural world. And this is something that has become increasingly difficult for people to engage as we become more and more urban. It's also more and more difficult to engage as we become more and more beholden to these cyber devices. Even this lecture today, I'm with you in the world of cyberspace, but I'm not with you in person. And that's odd and something to grapple with. This world has rules, the natural world, rules and rhythms. It's a world with which we can either find harmony as we intersect it, or disharmony as we choose to ignore its natural cues. And we do this regularly. We ignore the natural world's natural cues regularly. We use lights to not go to bed when we should go to bed. We use heating systems to not acknowledge that we're in a cold environment. We have food transported in, so we don't even know what is seasonal anymore. So we're becoming disconnected from our natural environment, and the more we become disconnected from our natural environment, the harder it is for ourselves to find natural health. Ayurveda is a way of living in harmony with the natural world. That means that we need to engage the natural world. And I'm going to ask you to actually get out into the natural world today. That means we need to respect the natural world, because there's karma associated with not respecting the natural world. There's karma in our bodies, there's karma in our minds, and there's collective karma for the world. Ayurveda also says that we have the ability to choose to create happiness, health, and longevity. So both yoga and Ayurveda as systems for healing and for transformation have the same goals. And those goals are written about in the Ayurvedic literature, and they're also written in the Upanishads. These 4 goals are called the Purushartha, the 4 aims of life. And the 4 aims of life are dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So those 4 aims, dharma is figuring out your unique purpose in life. Artha. Artha is wealth. Artha is acquiring all of the tools and the means and the people, everything that you need around you so that you're able to pursue your unique dharma. Kama is joy or love or enjoyment in life. And moksha is ultimate liberation. From both the yogic perspective and the Ayurvedic perspective, we pursue these different Purusharthas all during our lifetime, but primarily during different stages of our life. So dharma, figuring out our unique purpose, we pursue primarily or hopefully during the student phase of life. During our youth, we're trying to figure out who we are, why we're here, what are we going to do with our life. During our householder stage, we're pursuing artha. So householder stage is the time where we're pursuing our activities and we're creating. So we're making families and we're making households and we're making relationships. We're making money. We're taking care of our parents. And then after those duties have been fulfilled, our responsibilities have been somewhat fulfilled, and we've repaid some of the karmic debt that we've accumulated during our student phase, when the society is holding us and teaching us and allowing us to grow. After we've fulfilled those duties, then we move into what's called the forest dweller stage. And in the forest dweller stage, we're able to pursue some of those kama, some of those enjoyments. So hopefully we've been having a correct dharma and we've acquired wealth appropriately so that we've given ourselves good information, and those enjoyments are things that are still moving us on that path towards spiritual transformation. But you're able to do things that you've always wanted to do. So if I've always wanted to play the violin, or I've always wanted to learn another language, or I've always wanted to scuba dive in the Great Barrier Reef. So we're able to go do those things and connect with people in the world in a unique way and really experience the joy and the happiness of the world. And then finally, in the sannyasi stage, we are pursuing moksha, which is liberation. That's when all these other things fall away. So why am I talking about this? Why do we care about the Purushartha? It's because Ayurveda says that the best way to pursue these things is to have health. If we don't have health, we're not able to pursue these things.